Greetings and happy Father's Day to any of you fathers out there. At Unity Church, where I was an intern, the ministers begin the prayer part of their service by reciting the same words each week. One of these standard lines goes something like this: "We stand at the side of parents and teachers and all of those whose primary spiritual practice is caring for children." What does it mean to think of parenting as a spiritual practice? We usually think of a spiritual practice as a solitary endeavor or journey, perhaps weeks of prayer or meditation, or a daily ritual of yoga or journaling. The realities of parenting do not necessarily mesh well with the features of the classic spiritual journey. But as Reverend Kathleen McTeague writes, parenting is a journey, and there is enormous spiritual growth to be had. This ordinary unsung path requires tremendous openness to the anticipated. It requires faith that the Spirit does not grow in a straight line, nor need traditional forms and practices. Real spiritual growth depends on our willingness to be transformed, and very little transforms us as thoroughly as sharing our lives with children." Unquote. I think my dad might definitely say fatherhood was a daily spiritual practice for him, and he was certainly transformed by the changing role he took on when my mom went to full-time work when I was 8 years old. I remember the change very vividly. My mom just simply announced that if she was going to work full-time, she couldn't keep doing all the same things she used to do. In fact, we even went to family counseling to sort all of this out. One of the biggest changes was that my dad was in charge of the cooking and the grocery shopping. My mom still developed the weekly meal plan, but my dad implemented it. So this meant that every Saturday morning, my dad and I would head down to the SuperValu and do the weekly shopping. And he would always buy me a donut, something my mother would never have allowed. I loved spending those Saturday mornings together and the following weekday nights helping him cook the evening meal. My dad was also the one who would drive me to piano lessons each week, providing yet another opportunity to hang out. It doesn't sound all that remarkable when I think about it now, but this new routine transformed our relationship. We simply spent more time together, chatting in the car, making meals together, and simply being in the company of each other. When I was 19 and had recently left home for college, my dad unexpectedly quit the job he had had for 20 years, and he was trying to figure out whether to embark on a new career and do something completely different. A family friend who was trying to help him think out of the box asked him this question: "What do you do as easily as breathing?" He replied, "Being a dad." I sometimes wonder if my mom had not asked him to take on more responsibility at home, giving him and my sister and me the chance to spend more time together, doing the work of the household. Would he have answered that question the same way? I'm glad my parents equally shared the responsibility of child raising. I am grateful for the willingness my father had to adopt and be passionate about these aspects of household chores traditionally assigned to women. It certainly transformed our household. I know that there are many different experiences of being a father and being parented by a father, or a stepfather, two fathers, or no father at all. Diversity in family life is a beautiful feature of early 21st century America. I'd like to end my message today by reading a poem called "I Believe in Fathering" by Evan Carville Zimmer. I believe in fathering. I believe in the radical idea that men have the full human capacity to nurture. Hair bows and baseballs, cooking and creativity, tools and tiaras, camping and dancing, snuggles and shrieks of delight. Too many fathers don't believe in their own fathering. Too many are scarred by their own fathers to hear their heart say otherwise. Too many have known fathers who, faced with a quivering lip and tears, could only say, "Man up." Too many have known fathers who knew only yelling and hitting. Too many have known fathers who lost sight of their sacred role of protector and became tormentor. But I believe in fathering. When a human being gestates and gives birth, her brain changes permanently. A father's brain changes permanently too, changes as he rocks his baby to sleep, delights in baby games, and soothes bumps and bruises. A father earns his new neurobiology. In a world where too many mothers hand their co-parent directions, more specific than those given to the babysitter. Where a father out with his kids is asked, "Are you babysitting? And where's mom?" Where fathers are often the punchline. I believe in fathering. I believe in the radical idea that men have the full human capacity to nurture, whether their children come through birth, adoption, or fostering, through scouts, sports, Sunday school, or youth group. I've known too many gay dads, too many single fathers, too many men raising children others couldn't, to believe otherwise. I believe we all, especially our children, deserve to know that the human capacity to nurture belongs to every one of us. I believe in fathering. May it be so for you as well. Amen.